this is Nurse Jay, Nurse in the Truth. I hope everyone is having a great Friday. And yes, I am so happy that it is Friday and the weekend starts. I just got off of work nursing at the hospital, and now it is time for the real nursing, starting with the unwinding of the mind. So, what are we going to talk about today, Truth Seekers? I am still on my 18th Egyptian dynasty discussion about Moses, Akenaten, Anan, Aaron, Phineas, Pan-Nahesi, Eleazar, I, Joseph, Uya, Asenath, Tuya, Solomon, Amhotep III, and David, Tutmosis III. You must read Moses and Akhenaten by Ahmed Osman. You can get it off of eBay for about $14, and I got mine the other day. You also must go on a website called Domain of Man by an author by the name of Charles Pope, and he breaks it down very nicely for you. Well, my friends, I hate to disappoint, or maybe am I so excited to share with you today that the good old Amarna letters of Pharaoh Akenaten and the people of that time is, guess what? Where is it? Where do you think it is? Are you on the brink of trying to figure it out? Aha! The light bulb goes off, and this is where it's found, and I'm going to show you today through Finding Things. It is in this book. Would Amarna letters or the people in them be in this book? Because, truth seekers, this is nothing but an Egyptian book fighting different wars with the Babylonians, the Assyrians, and the Libyans, the Persians, the Shasu, the nomadic tribes, the Hyksos expulsion. And you have to put it together to make it your own book, and to put it in there that you're God's chosen people, so that after all these centuries coming down to us, you want us to think that you're God's children, and we are second fiddle. But we know that's a lie of Jeremiah 8:8, the lying pen of the scribes, he says. Now, let's get with it today. Now, you may also read a book by Dr. Emmanuel Velikovsky called The Ages in Chaos. And this book was written in 1952, and it has multiple biblical-historical identifications. And also, it is a striking correlation between the Old Testament and the Amarna letters that were written in Akhenaten's time, from Akhenaten himself in Amarna. You know, sometimes I call him Aki. You know, I like to make fun of him because I'm not a big fan of Akhenaten. Some of the stuff I cannot understand where it was going, but I call him Aki. Now, The identification of King Jehoshaphat of Judah's captain, called son of Zechari, matches up perfectly with the Amarna letters called son of Zukru. And Jehoshaphat of Judah, a king much blessed by Yahweh, was able to boast a formidable army about which we read in 2 Chronicles 17:12-18. Now Jehoshaphat became more and more powerful. He built forts and store cities in Judah and had large supplies in the town, and he also kept experienced fighting men in Jerusalem. Their enrollment by families were as follow. For Judah's commanders were 1,000, and it says Adnah, the commander, with 300,000. Next, Jehoiahan, the commander, with 280,000. Next, Amashiah, son of Zechari, who volunteered himself for the service of the Lord, was 200. From Benjamin, Eliada, soldier with 200,000 men, armed with bows and shields. And next, Jehozabad with 180. Now, Velikovsky said that, but if it were only a matter of evaluating my dating of the Amarna letters contra the conventional dating, we would use names alone. The list of identified persons in the Amarna letters and chapters of the scriptures of the time of the middle of the 9th century, as presented in the Ages of Chaos, is imposing. Among those names mentioned in both the letters and in the books of Kings and Chronicles are such unusual ones as Jehozabad, Adijah, Ben-Zechari, Baradi, and more. And it is little that from 5 generals of King Jehoshaphat named by the scriptures, 4 of them signed their letter by the very same names, and as one is referred to by his name. So, Adnah, Adnah, is found in 2 Chronicles 17:14. And the Amarna letters, as a correlation to that name, is Adudani. Son of Zechari, 2 Chronicles 17:16, is called the son of Zukru. Jehozabad in 2 Chronicles 17:18 is called Izabada. And Adaiah, 2 Chronicles 23:1 is Adaiah, almost spelled the same way. Not only personal names, but dozens of parallels are found between the text of those tablets and scriptural narrative in the books of Kings and Chronicles, and also between them and the Assyrian text of the 9th century. Events down to the smallest details were illuminated in the chapters dealing with the Amarna actions, wars, sieges, and a 7-year famine, and geographical names were compared. Although the Amarna correspondence covers only a few decades at the most, the many details that could be and have been brought to comparison lend an unshakable support to the reconstruction of the larger period covering the time from the end of the Middle Kingdom to the time of the Ptolemies in Egypt, a span of 1,200 years. Therefore, a single name, even were it to appear in the king's list and in the letters, would not amount to much without any support from the entire sum of evidence. Velikovsky had discovered other striking correspondences as well between the supposed 14th BC history and the 9th BC biblical history. None more stunning, perhaps, the son of Zechru and the son of Zechari. Indeed, Velikovsky thought that the Amarna letters actually listed 3 of the military captains of King Jehoshaphat of Judah as given. The fact that the revisionists have since been able to establish such a host of convincing parallels between the Amarna letters and the divided kingdom of Israel is sure proof. The author says, I think of the correctness of Velikovsky's radical resetting of the conventional 14th BC era. Even through Velikovsky's actual, these therein have often needed to be modified. So, what does this mean? It means a lot. So, it all goes with the story very well. And you have Akenaten that is at Akenaten, modern day Tel Amarna. And these people are writing to Akenaten, telling him what is going on. And these are the names of those captains. Why would Akenaten be writing to generals? Is it a case where he was still ruling with his father, but they had exiled him out of Thebes to Akenaten, and he was ruling from that post as well? Could it be a situation to, like I said before, the Amun priesthood versus the Aten priesthood and the followers? Could it be a situation that Amhotep III had his generals, as in Horemheb, I, the traitor, and Seti the First was also in the military? Could it be a situation that the Egyptian army was fighting and killed people that were going with Akhenaten? Could it be a situation where you had these wars and Akhenaten was giving them orders because these people were on his side, and how many thousands of people they had on this side? So it seems like a good war battle going on between the Shasu Aparu Hebrews, because even in the Amarna letters, it talks about the Aparu were running them over, and that if the king didn't take horses and arrows and send archers, that the city was going to be lost to the Aparu. So it seems like to me, dear truth seekers, that Akhenaten had lots of followers through his Aten worship, through him being Pharaoh at a time. And there again, Nurse J is digging and digging and digging and is never going to give up. So why don't you yourself go look up the Tel Amarna letters, easily found on the internet, and go look up these people in your Bible in 2 Chronicles 17. Say look 12 through 18 in these names and find them in your Amarna letters. And it'll give you a great backdrop of what's really going on. And the Lord is Akhenaten. You see, in one sense, Moses is mad and does what he does. That's Akhenaten as well. But when it talks about the Lord, in some sense, it can either be I or it can be Akhenaten. But when you look at these war scenes in Kings and Chronicles and Exodus and all that, you better bet your bottom dollar Akhenaten the Lord. And even when these people wrote this in the King James Version, Lord only means master, my friends, or someone that has clout or ruler. It has nothing to do with the almighty creative force that lives in each and every one of us. So until next time, I hope you have enjoyed this exposure of this Bible. And whenever you see this Moses movie coming on in Easter time and the crucifixion, you know who the real Moses is. Hotep and Ashe, and we will see you soon, guys. Have a great and wonderful weekend. Goodbye.